Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri, and is the world's first single-barrel-only liquor store. This store is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot. Get signed up for their email distribution list to find out when the store will be opening, what their hours will be, and most importantly, what they will have in inventory at abvbarrelshop.com. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebartogo.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss some of the things we see that are just being done right in the world of bourbon. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Miss Beka Sue, along with our special guests, Kathy Cool and Katie Joyce.
Welcome. I am Miss Beka Sue. How's everyone doing? Okay. Yeah, Katie Joyce has got a mustache. Incredibly quickly. Yes. So today we're going to be talking about things in bourbon that are just doing it right, whether it be people, bottles, all the things in bourbon that are just doing it right. But before we get to that, we're going to talk to Kathy Cool about something that she was dying to talk to us about.
Yes. So it is a good weather season. Everybody loves going to the zoo. What is your favorite thing, animal, or exhibit at the zoo that you like the best?
This is a fun question.
This is a fun question. I was at the zoo last night, so this is a great question.
Look at you.
I know it. I was prepared. And you know what? That was actually going to be one of my, that was the small talk that I thought about. Kathy pulled it out of my brain and she said it for me. So I appreciate that, Kathy. So since I'm freshly from the zoo, I guess I'll start it off. We got to see like Fiona the elephant, and we got to see the manatees over at the Cincinnati Zoo. There was a bourbon tasting event over there where it was all 21 and over, so it was fantastic.
Nice.
But we lucked out in the sense that people didn't really know if they could go inside the buildings, or possibly no one wanted to go inside this building. And we got to go inside and see the insects.
Oh.
Which I don't like insects. In fact, one could say I fucking hate them. But seeing them inside their cages is just so creepy but cool at the same time. And in a zoo where they actually have really cool insects that you never see, there's just something about it that is just like, you're looking at them. There was a scorpion that was ready to square up with Royce. I mean, it was just really cool. There was a centipede as long as my forearm. I mean, it was massive.
Do these things live long enough to have, do they have to replace the scorpion every 3 months?
I don't know. That's one thing, and I'll say that this is my tender heart. I go, they live in such a small enclosure. That seems very horrible and sad. But the one insect that they gave free reign to the entire place by having a whole tube that ran around this entire place, and they had a live plant that they could just go and chop up at any point that they wanted to, was the ants. They had fucking ants in a tube that went around the entire inside building.
They made them like a tunnel, because ants tunnel. They had.
Well, when I think of a tunnel, I'm thinking of just like a flat thing, and they've got it's like 4 foot by 4 foot for the zoo. No, this was the entire enclosure with all the insects in it of just tubes for ants. And I look at the scorpions; they're stacked on top of each other, looking like they're about to kill each other. and they've got about a foot long by foot long area where ants have all the space in the world. So I thought that was kind of a highlight. How about for you guys? McNew, what do you got?
So I like the animals that actually do things, because like you can go like look at a giraffe, it's just standing there. The zebras don't do much. So I like the dolphins, because the Indianapolis Zoo actually has a great dolphin exhibit. They have a dome you can walk under and they'll swim over you. It's very cool, and you can pay extra to swim with them. And I like the monkeys. The Columbus Zoo has a great orangutan enclosure. So the ones you can see like just swinging around, swimming around, I like them when they're doing things. So the monkeys and dolphins for me.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Katie, how about you?
I cannot remember the last time I was at the zoo.
Go.
It was probably more than 20
years
years ago.
Animals.
So, I would have to say what's most memorable though was probably the penguins. Because I feel like they were pretty active no matter what time you go by. The penguins usually are not just standing around; they're usually up to something. And so, although I usually do not like going into any of the buildings because they all smell. And so I remember like walking into like the monkey house of the St. Louis Zoo and like having to breathe through your mouth only just because like the smell. And so now I do love the St. Louis Zoo is wonderful. It's free for people to go to, which I think is fantastic. And so pretty much any animal that would be active is fun to watch, but penguins is going to be my answer.
The penguins for you. Kathy, how about you? What do you got for your favorite animal?
I like the mammals that swim.
Oh, otters?
Otters, polar
Manatee.
bears, any of the mammals that are swimming. They're doing stuff, they're having fun. And the St. Louis Zoo has really improved they don't have a monkey house anymore. They have
That shows you how long.
There's no monkey house.
Like, I hated it. Like, well, good, Katie, because it's gone.
Yeah, they don't have that anymore. They treat them a little bit nicer. But, yeah, I like anything that's going to swim and play.
Yeah.
That's a mammal. Fish, dolphins are fun, but they're mammals, right? They breathe air.
I will say,
They do breathe, yes, Kathy. That is what they do.
Air. They don't have gills.
They breathe air, yes.
Okay.
That is one of the things about mammals.
We breathe the air. So I like the swimming mammals.
The swimming
I will
mammals.
say I swam with dolphins once, and that was one of the coolest experiences. Now I kind of feel bad about it as an adult because, like, captive animals, that's not great.
I know.
But-
I've done the same thing, and they talk about how that's cruel and you're
Yeah.
taking advantage of them. And I'm like, but they seem to like it.
Yeah, it was at Discovery Cove, and I felt like from my experience, at least as a guest there, they were good. Like, we had to wear special sunscreen to make sure it was like friendly for them in the water and stuff. But it was an incredible experience getting to swim with the dolphin. His name was Flash. It was my first kiss. I was like 9.
Your first kiss was a dolphin.
It was, yes.
Wow.
And later, I've kind of learned recently dolphins are assholes, apparently, so it makes me feel a little less bad.
I was actually
They're
wondering.
assholes, but
They're
they
in the
will
ocean.
rape you. They will rape
Thankfully,
you.
that didn't happen.
Yeah.
when I was swimming with them.
I was wondering which way you're gonna go when you said I actually stay with the dolphins, and I'm like, we're gonna have to cut this out of the show. Oh, fantastic! No, that's good because some people say that they are they're incredibly intelligent, but they can be also very horrible. But
They're
I
funny.
say the more active, the better. That's what was fun about the insects was they're just being weird, being insects.
So you know what sucks though? Like I will not walk into a reptile house because I am weirdly terrified of snakes. But I love an alligator. Like let me see an alligator without its snake friends. Like I love an alligator, but I can't. Always the reptile house.
But you're
Yeah.
not scared of alligators.
Yeah, because they have legs. It's a whole leg. And
Yeah,
tongue.
have you
Same.
ever
Run after you really
Like
fast.
alligator, no problem. Snake freaks me out.
Is this the general consensus?
It's because they have no legs.
Yeah, it's
Kathy,
the leg
what is
thing.
do you like alligators better or snakes?
Me?
Yes.
Alligators. But I don't care about snakes.
What
Like,
the fuck is wrong with you guys? No, there's no way. Alligators
it's not like I've
are
ever thrown a bagel at a snake, but
I felt bad. I threw a bagel at a snake, but I felt bad. I wanted him back. I felt bad. I threw the bagel at the snake. I was like, no, I should have kept him around.
We felt bad for the bagel. That bagel ate by
felt
something
nothing
bad.
about the bagel. The bagel would add on to my love handles. I felt bad about the snake because he was going to eat the mice. Now, I'm not going to have a fucking crocodile crawling around outside the house eating up mice.
Well, I agree. I don't want any alligator.
They won't get you. It's fine.
If I had to choose between a snake in my pond or an alligator in my pond, I'm choosing a snake still. But like, if I have to touch one, I will touch an alligator before I touch a snake.
Okay.
Ah, that is a good way to define that.
I'm still here for the alligator.
I was like, fill my pond with alligators. I don't care.
Go and watch a bunch of kayaking videos of people getting flipped over on their kayaks by a crocodile, and
they'll eat your dogs.
Hate them. You'll hate them.
Normally, the snakes leave you alone. It's just they freak me out.
Yeah, they don't like bagels. Apparently,
I don't like bagels.
They don't like fucking. Okay, we need to get a drink for at this point. We can't go off the rails because Steve Akeley will be pissed. Let's start this one off with Kathy. You look like you're prepped and ready to go. Let's see what you got.
This is called Mash Build, and it's from the Washington Distillery in Washington, Missouri. I tried it on the flagship show the other night.
Eating the other night.
And this, that's the mash bill of all the things that's blended in there. It's got a million things, but super tasty. So let's see how this one goes.
That was good.
That was real good.
That was fantastic. McNew, what do you got?
I have some very old St. Nick 13-year.
Nothing at all. Katie?
I have some Hirsch Horizon.
Nice.
Oh.
It was cute.
I thought that was good, but I think that Kathy's was better.
Yeah, Kathy's was definitely better.
Was nice and clean and crisp.
Yep.
And I still have, I've still got samples, so I've got nothing. I will not be participating tonight because I didn't want you guys to lose. So Kathy is the winner on this one.
Cheers, Kathy.
Woo!
All right, so cheers, guys. So when we're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we're gonna be talking about what distilleries or people or things, I suppose, definitely not alligators, are doing right in bourbon.
Let's talk about the people who make these shows happen. First up is the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot in the greater St. Louis area. It is the most unique shopping experience in the world of bourbon, as the ABV Barrel Shop only focuses on single barrels. We aren't open just yet, but our plan is to have the most diverse single barrel offerings from our many friends in the world of bourbon. By signing up for a weekly email, you will know our entire inventory we have on hand. In addition to single barrels, we'll have a tasting bar and a gift shop featuring logo merchandise for both the shop and the ABV network, as well as a full curriculum of bourbon education classes. Additionally, we'll use the gift shop to feature products from our partners in the world of bourbon, companies like Art Eatable Chocolates and Old Man Bay Signs. Head over to ABV Barrel Shop to sign up for our email and text distribution list so you can stay in the know. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent visits to Kentucky. Today, he's leading the way for young distillers making their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery combines family history, a look at what makes their products unique, and of course a tasting through their whiskeys, moonshines, and creams. Check them out at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com and visit them in Sparta, Kentucky.
This is Freddie Mills, and you're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we are talking about everything being done right in bourbon.
Yes, that is right, McNew. We're going to talk about a little bit of everything that's being right or doing done right. Apparently, I'm not sure how to talk at this point anymore. But we're going to talk about a few things that we think distilleries or our friends are doing right in bourbon. Let's start off with Kathy. I know you had a few good ones. Kathy, what do you got?
Well, I was considering the assignment given to me by Mr. Akeley, and I came up with some ideas that I felt like Mr. Akeley would like for me to discuss.
I feel like the substitute teacher. I feel like a substitute teacher right now, and I'm grading. I'm not sure what the assignment was, but it sounds good. Yeah, go on.
Just roll the movie. Tell us to watch it.
I think Sweet Mash is good. I think they're doing that right. I think
Absolutely.
using better corn. We know plenty of people that are using heritage brand corns or blue corns or Bloody Butcher corns, and they're not just throwing the, bad corn in there or whatever, the standards. And then I think some people that are doing finishing, it's fun. So those are some things that I think are being done right in bourbon.
What are your favorite finishes currently that you've had?
Well, it's summer, so I like sweet stuff. Once again, I'm going to say what Steve wants me to say. I love seagrass. I do. I love seagrass, and it's finished. So that's good. So, putting things in wine barrels or tequila barrels or something, it affects the flavor profile, and I think that's fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that I think a lot of people are starting to dabble in all the cool finishes, whether it be like the apricot brandy barrels or the wine barrels or literally anything. The rum finishes, the cigar finishes, the tobaccos, all that stuff. I think that it adds a new element to things that we're just that we're not used to, but that we enjoy.
I will say there's some, just because you can finish it in that doesn't mean you should. But I think there are one. I like the. Oh my god! I'm sorry. My dog just farted. It smells so bad. Oh my god.
Oh no.
Dog farts are not going well in bourbon. We don't appreciate
that's not been done well. Apparently, no dog fart finishes have been done well yet.
But anyway, I like the spirit of trying new things with all the finishes. But then some of them I never would have thought of before, but they legitimately are delicious.
Which ones have you enjoyed?
Oh my god! I knew you
You
guys
think
were.
right now
I don't know. Don't say things if you don't think I'm
crying from the pain of the dog's fart smell.
I still have just burnt fart smell in my nose.
How about this?
So bad.
Which have been the ones that you wish they did not finish in?
There's been some of the wine finishes that I did not care for. That was not a cognac finish, but I'm not gonna say it right. Mizarona.
Madeira?
Not on it.
Azurna, maybe. I don't know.
Has a Z in there somewhere. I'm sure there's someone listening to this, shouting out the name of their car, like, you
It's
idiot. How do
Screaming
you
in the
not?
car right now.
That's
Right.
okay. Steve will get an email about that.
I will get an email about that.
Make sure you send all your hate emails to info@steveakley.com.
Yeah, don't use that form on the website. Send them directly to him.
So one of the favorites I have had is the Walker's K. It's finished in sherry cask. Well, I guess finished in sherry cask at least has the staves of it. But absolutely love it. It's been good.
Okay. And Katie, what are some other things that you think people are doing well in bourbon?
Well, the way that I hear the doing well is how we can be consuming bourbon well. And so especially in summertime, we have to switch how we're consuming our bourbon because we have to go from our fireside bourbon to our poolside bourbon. And so this is when we focus on a little bit lighter finishes. I usually take this opportunity to find my favorite bourbons I like to like mix with lemonade to enjoy outside in the summer heat. And so what we're doing right is that bourbon can be used year round. I feel like vodka, I don't really see the use for it in the winter. Like I get it. I'm like, you're on a float trip, you put it in some punch, like going down the river, or like there's a lot of like the coconut rum, etc. But bourbon can be used year round. And so that's one of the things we're doing right. So you just have to make sure you're consuming it right for the time of year.
And the main thing I think with that as well is that you use a proper proof. I think that using an 80 proof, and if you're going to mix it with something that you generally do like a 30 proof into, make sure that you account for that so you don't end up too sloppy. It's like, well, I usually would put 2 shots of this in there. Okay, well, that's only a 40 proof, whatever it is. So maybe only do a shot of an 80 proof bourbon instead. Otherwise, you're going to be feeling rough.
I don't even know what comes in.
Stuff I never thought about, and it makes a lot of damn sense.
Yeah. We're educating the world here, McNew. Make sure that you look at the proof, and if you're
doing it right on the river. Watching your proof.
Watch your proof. Yes. Because guess what? Same with if you're used to drinking 100 proof bourbon, and then all of a sudden Jeff Kaplan shows up with a hazmat of 142, you're not going to just be sipping on that all night. You will be on your ass immediately, and you need to identify that. Same with when you're sitting on a podcast. If you're sipping on stuff and you go, I don't know, this one says barrel strength. Well, what is the barrel strength? Check that out, because if you don't, you'll be on your ass very, very quickly. That's something that I know that myself and a few of my friends we failed with the proofs. McNew, what do you think are some things that people are doing right?
Okay, yeah, so let's talk about, as consumers, how we drink it. Like Katie said, it's getting warm. You don't just have to drink it neat. Like, I know that's preferred for a lot of people, but it's hot. It was 90 degrees here today. Throw an ice cube in it, or get something like not expensive, still good, not expensive, and make a cocktail. Like, you don't have to drink it neat all summer. Stop torturing yourself. It's unnecessary.
Yeah.
One of the things I've learned recently is to freeze berries
Ooh.
and use those as ice cubes to keep your bourbon cold.
Smart.
Fantastic.
Like
I
a
love that
blackberry.
idea.
I love a blackberry like bourbon smash. I could just freeze those. That's brilliant,
I'm
actually.
keeping raspberries in my freezer, and right now those are my ice cubes in my bourbon.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
I
smart.
love that idea.
See, that is doing bourbon right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that and making it into a cocktail, like we said, do not use your expensive stuff. Don't do that. That would be
I
doing.
do have a few cocktails that like I've perfected. It's a alcohol heavy cocktail that's very important that I'll use my more expensive stuff. But when you're just having fun with it, especially, or mixing it with a bunch of stuff, yeah, don't waste any of the real
Do you
good
have the
stuff.
recipe for your alcohol heavy content?
Yeah. What
What's
is this
that?
recipe, Katie?
Well, it's like an old fashioned. If you're making an old fashioned,
Oh,
like that
yeah,
is
that's
very much
different.
like that. When I get to like the 4th or 5th one, sure, I'll just make it with whatever at that point. Give me some Jim Beam White Label. I don't care. But the first one, I mean, I might use some of my Widow Jane 10-year. And so, or if I'm just adding maybe like a little bit of sparkle to it, like a little bit of lemon juice or a little bit of just some carbonated something to it to make it a little brighter. You can use
ginger ale or ginger beer to your bourbon. Always delicious.
I love a wild turkey and ginger. Like, I feel like that's the bourbon. Like, Turkey 101 is the bourbon that pairs best with a ginger beer, and I love it. Like, that's a great summer drink.
That's what I normally get when flying too, because Southwest has Wild Turkey 101 and ginger ale.
Let's switch back over to the distillery side of things. We did some more consumer things with cocktails, getting your proof right. What's some more things that distilleries are doing right? Let's talk about their bottles. How about bottle wise? Is having a super intricate, interesting bottle doing it right? Is it doing it wrong? What do you guys think about that?
I just needed to fit in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
So
she.
if it's a weird shape, just needs to fit in my hand.
So you just want to be able to hold the
I
bottle.
want to hold it.
So, what was the one that Wild Turkey used to do that looked like the turkey?
Oh, the fantail. The fantail.
I know that bottle's beautiful. It is really awkward to hold.
And it's a pain in the ass on your shelf, too. It takes up a weird amount of shelf space.
And you're never going to see it at the store because they had to store it.
You have to
this
turn
way.
it. Yeah, say they're not a bar appropriate, sort of.
Yeah, so that's
and also some of them they don't pour correctly when they have a weird shape to them.
Right.
Which I'm not trying to have my bourbon dribble all over the countertop prior to pouring it. I want it to pour out a nice smooth pour. And so some of these, as cool as the bottle is, test out how it pours from your bottle. If it pours like shit, maybe change the top. And if it doesn't fit nicely in the hand and it feels awkward, it's not going to be nice. You want it to be something that's easily accessible.
well, if it dribbles out, then you get to lick it off the bottle, though. So there's that benefit.
Guys, this is exactly where all girls' night would go.
It really is. Like, oh shit, I spilled it. Let me lick this off the table. Excuse me. Hold on. And so I started paying more attention to bottles, especially after. So my favorite whiskey is Bren. It's a French single malt, but the Allison Park, the owner, talked about how she designed the bottle, especially at the bottom of it was easy to hold, especially for a woman's hand. Now she's like a delicate ballerina type. I'm a shot put thrower, so I can pretty much handle any bottle, but I appreciate that when it is very comfortable to hold and pour. Stop it. Sorry, my boyfriend's off to the side, and with my comment of I can pretty much hold anything, he just off his headphones and goes, "Yeah, you can."
Oh my god, guys! Family friendly show.
So anyway, bottles like this really wide one, like the Hirsch. Well, I like the look of them. And I think that it's really cool looking. And I especially appreciate when I can see a bottle and I know instantly what company it is. So I like the science behind that. But they do run the risk of, especially at a bar, it takes up too much room. So they get turned sideways.
Yeah.
Now, Hirsch thought this through and their name is on the side of it as well. And their label extends to the side. But so the whole art behind the bottle and the fact, like, I don't think it happens as many in other liquors as it does in whiskey. If you think about vodka, they're
tall and thin.
Yeah.
All the same. Yeah.
But I feel like we get absolutely everything. We get the tall, thin stuff. Now, if it's too tall, it pisses me off because it doesn't fit on every shelf. But for the most part, like, we have such a wide variety. Even if you just take the general design of like, oh, you've got a wide one, it's so different between them.
Oh, you have a wide one.
I do.
Eddie Joyce.
May
26th,
let's switch from bottle design to something
You
else.
have a wide set
Talk about
bottle.
Corks. Let's talk about Corks. How about Corks, guys? Who's doing it right in Corks? Is spending the extra dime on having some eccentric cork, some heavy cork, some like all these crazy ones. Is that worth it? Is that doing it right, or is it just a waste of money?
I can appreciate it. Like Hard Truth Hills, like their sweet mash had an amazing cork on it. Very impressive, very photogenic. I really don't give a shit at the end of the day though. Like, I mean, it seals my bottle. It's not like shipping off in my bottle. Like, I really don't have a preference over a synthetic or natural cork, to be honest. And that's probably an unpopular opinion. I really don't care.
So we have a whole episode on the Bourbon Daily of corks. So
you don't care though, McNew, once that cork starts to disintegrate it because you decide to keep the bottle for too long.
That's true. Like, that's a you problem. Like, that's a you problem.
It's a you problem, McNew. It'll be a you problem if you don't finish that bottle. But say to me, I think that switching to like Nutri-Cork, where it's the nice press corks, I think that's smart. I'm not going to say that, like, I like the Nutri-Cork. I don't really love the synthetic ones. I don't
like the feel of them.
I also do not like Weller, how they have the screw on tops. I don't like that. I don't like how it, like, if you hold it weird, you pinch it, it just bends in half.
I hate it when you pinch it weird and it bends in half.
Or because it leaks. Because it's not a
You gotta
type.
pinch it harder if it's leaking.
No good seal. I
That's what I'm
would
told.
rather have a cork than the
We've hit the edit section. We're gonna get edited.
Oh yeah, Steve's gonna love this show. That's
But I've heard that the screw tops are the better seal.
Yeah,
well, I'm talking about like the Weller ones. Like the Weller
Oh.
ones were crap for.
Okay.
they're
The
or like
old
if you
Foresters-
get a little too excited turning it and it just spins right past it,
It's an oval.
strip it out.
Yeah.
Turns into an oval. Now a good screw top. I mean, I still don't really like screw tops. I want to have a cork. I don't really want to have a screw top on almost any of my bourbons or whiskeys. I always want to have a cork.
I appreciate the usefulness of a screw top and I understand its purpose,
Yes.
but I like the nostalgia of a cork pop.
Yeah.
So we're deciding that when it comes to doing it right, we don't really give a shit about how heavy a cork is. I just personally doing it right. I just want it to be a good cork that's not going to break off in the bottle.
Exactly. I just want it to work. Do its
Doing it
job.
right.
You have one job. Do your job.
Do it right. Do it well. I'd say is there anything else that you guys want to talk about in bourbon that people are doing it right?
Do it right. Do it good.
So I'm gonna cut Katie off,
Thank God. Thank God for that.
but only to sum her up. So far, we can't bend it too much. It cannot be too wide.
Oh.
And if you have to pinch it off, you need the hands of a shot putter.
So, anyways, where can we find everyone tonight? Kathy Cool, where can we find you at?
I'm on Facebook.
She's on Facebook, everyone. You can find
If you
her.
can come up with a good name for me for Instagram, I might think about being on Instagram.
Perfect. We're going to try and figure out a good name for Kathy Cool on Instagram. Katie Joyce, where can we find you?
You can find me doing it right, doing it good, licking that bottle just like I should. And I'm not sure I can say where you should find me after that line. Honestly, you
Yeah,
can
maybe
respond.
don't tell people where to find you at.
You can find me
the
nowhere.
DMs
I'm a
will be
figment
off
of your
the chain.
imagination. Move on.
Oh God, McNew, where can we find you tonight? Not tonight, just in general. We can find you this evening.
Difficult. I am on Instagram at McNew ABV.
Fantastic, Kathy. Could you want to give us our Steve Akeley ending?
I'm Steve Akeley. You can find me at steveakeley.com. But the most important place to find me is the abvnetwork.com. That's where you can find all our shows, our podcasts, our gift shop, and information about the upcoming ABV Barrel Shop.
Fantastic, Kathy. And I am Miss Beka Sue. And as always, you can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Miss Beka Sue, 1K no C's. Anything else you'd like to tell us tonight, McNew?
I would like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
All right. And that wraps it up tonight. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Just got it.
Peace.
Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Another friend of ours is the Goldstein family at Goldstone Mill. The Goldsteins offer a variety of heritage and heirloom grains to make the finest whiskeys in the world. Plus, they are more than just a grain company. They are truly consultants to make sure the grains they are providing to you or your business meet your highest expectations. Additionally, they work with mills around the country, ensuring shipping is as low as possible for their customers. If you're a distillery, brewery, or even doing this at home, Goldstone can assist you. Check them out at goldstonemill.com, call them at 217-254-6613, or check in via email at hello@goldstonemill.com. Last but not least is the ABV Barrel Shop. While we don't get to play in the allocated bourbon game because we aren't selling the other products you have to do to get those, we do have access via our friendships in the bourbon industry to some really cool stuff. Have you ever seen your favorite craft distiller selling some really cool limited offerings only in their gift shop? I'm talking things like the hazmat offering Distillery 291 did for their 10th anniversary, or Neely Family Distillery's upcoming Papaw's birthday barrel. They don't have enough of it to send it out to distributors, so they only sell it via their gift shop. Well, companies like Distillery 291 and Neely Family Distillery have agreed to sell us 2 or 3 cases of these offerings moving forward, meaning our store will have the access to some of the rarest whiskeys in the world. Way more difficult to come by than the allocated bourbon offerings with a national release. Yes, they will be extremely tough to come by, but if you're a customer of our store, you'll have a chance to get them. Get signed up for our email or text list over at abvbarrelshop.com so you don't miss out.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.